The issue of injustice against Ndibo and the Biafran freedom is getting more attention as the world powers are waking up. Ndị by Daloli Nenu. Here bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee na-wetara ya bụ ozi unu jege enu ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo nọ n'ime ya and nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ n'iru akwụkwọ. Nwanne nwoke wetara anyị ozi n'ụbọchị nke taa according to the activist, the Biafran activist, as he quote, massive good news in the Biafra land as enemy of Biafrans have put to shame Nigerian government on the lawn. Christopher Musa is nowhere to be found. As Finland judge says Maaze Simon Ekpa is not guilty. Hear the news in details. All right, this is according to the Biafran activist that I was in Irakuko. I am asking, can I get you when you with a lie? The Kia Giabife, a Kabaro Keliati and Yenda Ninoku. Over to you, sir.
As we speak, there is a massive and a wide-scale jubilation and celebration in Finland because a top lawyer or a judge, a very experienced and a top lawyer domiciled in Finland, came out yesterday to fully analyze and critically break down Simon's case and how his verdict would look like in the Finnish court. So the question here is, who is this lawyer and what does he have to say about Mr. Simon? And how will it affect Simon's case in the court of law? Well, in this video, we shall be doing a detailed analysis and a breakdown to fully unravel and to fully cover every single detail released by this top lawyer and judge domiciled in Finland. This is going to be a very, very exciting video and a very strong analysis coming from a strong and experienced judge domiciled in that part of the world. So I advise you to watch this video up until the end because a lot of details will be shared. So let's start with the very first question. Who is this judge? Well, a judge known as Ali Vartanen, who happens to be one of the most experienced judges in that country of Finland, came out yesterday being the 15th of June of 2025, to critically give a verdict on how the court session would look like regarding Mr. Simon's case. This lawyer is well experienced and well versatile in Finland. Showing right now on your screen is an exclusive detail on this lawyer. Feel free to pause this particular section of this video to read up and understand and see things for yourself. How this guy is well armed with info in the Finnish court session. This lawyer, known as Ali Vartanen, explained and showcased how Simon's case would look like. He first of all broke down and explained the Finnish judicial system. Started by saying that Mr. Simon's case is being handled by a district court in Finland. He also went a step further to explain that in every district court, there are 3 judges. Yes, there are 3 judges that presides over any case presented in a district court. This is quite different from the Nigerian judicial system. We all know that in a Nigerian court, we have just one lawyer that presides and gives judgment. But in a district court in Finland, they have 3 judges, and these 3 judges presides over the court's matter. He also went a step further to explain how decisions and sentencings are being made. Yes, since we have 3 judges in a district court in Finland, how did these guys pass out a sentencing, or how did these guys declare an action in the court of law? Well, he said the 3 judges, after hearing a case, the judges will deliberate together. That is, the 3 judges will sit down together, hear every single info and details regarding a suspect. This involves discussing the evidence, legal arguments, and applicable laws. The goal is to reach a consensus among the judges. They discuss their views and interpretations of the case to arrive at a unified decision. Hope this is actually clear and easy to understand. And so 3 judges will hear a case. 3 judges will deliberate on that case, and these 3 judges will pass a verdict. So the question here is, how is a verdict passed, and how will Simon's case be judged? So the way it's worked in a district court in Finland is these 3 judges will cast their votes. Yes, these 3 judges will be like, okay, this guy is guilty or not guilty. They have to pick one, guilty or not guilty. So these 3 judges, they will pick or pass their votes, and the highest number of votes will be the declaration. But if there's a tie, the lead judge among the 3 has the power to cast a final verdict and a final vote. Hope this is very clear to understand. Moving on swiftly, once a decision is reached, the judges announced the verdict in the court. explaining the rationale behind the decision making. And this is everything you need to know about the district court in Finland and how these guys operate. And now let's get to the most interesting part of this whole conversation. Let's get to the interesting part of this whole video. So this judge, this experienced judge in Finland also went a step further to explain that if Simon is found guilty, we all know that the prosecuting judge in the court of law is asking the court to sentence Simon for 6 good years. But this judge, this experienced judge in Finland, came out to say that if the courts find Simon guilty by paraventure, Simon will face 4 different consequences, different from the requests coming from the prosecuting lawyer. Showing right now on your screen are the 4 different consequences if by paraventure Simon is found guilty. So there's imprisonment, there's fines, there's community service, and there's probation. Yes, this judge also went a step further to give a clear information that Nigerians need to see and understand at this particular point in time. An info that all lovers and supporters of USB needs to see and understand. So, if by paraventure Simon is found guilty, yes, if he's found guilty in the Paijehame District Court, Simon's lawyer, the defendant lawyer, has the right to appeal the sentencing coming from the Paijehame District Court in a higher court. Hope this is very clear to understand. And now, let's move on to a different section. This experienced judge in Finland came out to give a timeline. He gave out to explain how long Simon's case will last in the Paijehame District Court, because as we stand, nobody knows the definite amount of time Simon will appear in the court of law. Nobody knows how long the case will be in the Paijehame District Court. But this lawyer has given a clear and detailed analysis of the time frame. This judge said there's no fixed date or time for Simon's case, but then there are some things we need to know and understand. Simon's case is new in the Finnish court system, and that is why it's going to take them several weeks or days to conclude his trial. But from mere calculations, Simon's case will stretch into late summer of this said year. So when this judge said Simon's case will stretch into the late summer of this year, we had to do a quick research and understand when Finland will experience its late summer. Showing right now on your screen states that in Finland, late summer typically spans from late August to mid-September. This period marks the transition from summer to autumn, with gradually decreasing daylight and temperature. So as you can see, Simon's case will definitely last for 121 days, which is 4 months if you calculate them accumulatively. Yes, moving on swiftly. Now is the interesting part of this whole video. This judge now analyzed Simon's case. He went through all the documents, evidence, and data presented by the prosecuting lawyer, and he gave his analysis. Let's take a look at what he had to say and declare. He said that Simon is facing 3 different charges. Showing right now on your screen are the charges detailed by this top judge in Finland. He said the very first one here, the very first case Simon will answer is public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent. And the second one here is terrorism financing and violating money collection laws. And the third charge leveled on Simon is spreading terrorist propaganda. And these are the 3 and the only charges leveled on Simon. He also went a step further to claim that many Nigerian outlets usually publicize or publish wrong info and intel about Simon's case. That these 3 charges showing right now on your screen are the absolute and the 3 charges this man is going to face in the courts of law. He also went a step further to give or expose a confidential data that we believe that he shouldn't say in that media or interview session. He stated that Simon's activity dating from August, the 23rd of August of 2021 up until November 18th of 2024 is being heavily scrutinized and will be used against him in the court of law. He said that the prosecuting lawyer has gathered info, details, videos, tweets, messages, yes, his WhatsApp messages from the 23rd of August of 2021 up until the 18th of November of 2024 as evidence that will be presented possibly tomorrow in the court session. So, in essence, Simon's conversations, phone calls, and messaging for over 1,183 days is being checked and will be submitted in the court of law as pure evidence. Yes, he also went a step further to claim that Simon once upon a time was a Finnish politician, yes. And being a politician in Finland will greatly be an advantage to him. Yes, being a Finnish politician will help him in the court of law. Why will that help him? Well, just in case you don't know, Simon has held a notable political position in Finland as a local government councillor for the National Coalition Party. His involvement in Finnish politics began in 2022, and he has since been recognized for his advocacy related to the USB movement. While serving as a Finnish politician, Simon held crucial roles in the Finnish political system. So if the government of Finland are saying Simon is a terrorist or he once upon a time financed terrorism, it simply means that it's going to one way or the other affect Simon's political party known as the National Coalition Party, which funny enough is the political party where Alexander Stubb, the current president of Finland, is from that same political party as Simon. Showing right now on your screen is a picture of Alexander Stubb together with Simon, a man that the country is calling a terrorist. So this judge is saying that if Simon actually is a terrorist, it simply means that Alexander Stubb has associated himself and has done decision makings, ruled Finland with a terrorist. This judge claimed that Simon being a politician from that country will greatly help his case in so many ways, shape or form. So as you can see, invariably, Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland, is also in a deep, deep mess. Yes, moving on swiftly, let's see what this judge had to say regarding Simon's case and other angles of his case. He also went a step further to claim that Simon publicly announced he was stepping away from formal Finnish politics in October of 2024. This simply means that Simon voluntarily left Finnish politics. He wasn't chased out or forced to leave. He left the scenes of Finnish politics by his own free will, which simply means that the government of Finland did not spot him, did not notice that this man was a terrorist. A terrorist worked in your political system and you guys did not detect on time. Yes, this judge claimed that the government of Finland will definitely answer for that if, by peradventure, Simon is found guilty. Well, he also went a step further to give a detailed analysis of Simon's achievements in the Finnish political system. Well, showing right now on your screen is a detailed breakdown of Simon's achievement. As you can see, this man has been actively involved in Finnish politics from 2017 up until 2024. He held a series of posts. He executed a series of actions while holding offices in that country. So now, let's take a look at the surprising part of this whole conversation. This judge said that Simon, being a politician in that country, will be an advantage and also a disadvantage to him in the court of law. So let's take a look at how being a politician will be an advantage to Mr. Simon in the Paetja District Court. We'll show you right now on your screen. It's a detailed analysis coming from this judge where he placed the advantages Simon would face for being a politician in that country. The very first one here is public status. The judge claimed that Simon can argue that whatever he used his Twitter page to say or whatever he used his social media platform to execute was for public speaking and giving commentaries in public events. Yes, so being a public status will help him greatly in the court of law because once you're popular, you have wider reach. Once you're popular, people will pay attention to you. And once you're popular, whatever you say automatically becomes a source. So being a public status will help Simon. And the second advantage here is legal and political knowledge. Yes, this will help Simon greatly in the court of law. Yes, and as we speak, it's already helping Simon because you've been following the court session over the past couple of days. You notice that Simon, being a legal and a political practitioner, has full knowledge about his case. We've seen this man come out openly to defend his case and defend his cause in the courtroom. So being a legal practitioner and a politician has greatly assisted and helped Simon. The third one here is influence and supporters. Yes, having massive influence and supporters will be an advantage to Simon because definitely the media would want to cover his case. The media would want to show up, take videos, take pictures and post it out there. Individuals would want to fundraise for his cause and definitely individuals will pressurize the government of Finland. As we all know, all of this third advantage already plays out because all media outlets in Nigeria and in Finland are currently covering Mr. Simon's case. A lot of individuals are fundraising for his cause. and individuals from the USB are pressurizing the Finnish government back to back. And the fourth advantage Simon will face in this case is a claim of persecution. Yes, Simon can use this to his favor. He can shift his image from criminal to a freedom fighter. He can come out and say, see, I'm a freedom fighter. I've been fighting for the case of the people. I'm not a criminal. Whatever I've said in the past couple of days or years is for the freedom of my people. So being a politician definitely will be of advantage to Simon in the Finnish courts, in the Päijät-Häme district courts. And this is coming from this experienced judge in Finland. This judge also went a step further to expose the disadvantages Simon will face, because anything that has an advantage will definitely have a disadvantage. So let's take a look at some disadvantages that Simon will definitely face in this trial. The very first one here is higher responsibility. Yes, the court expects better behavior from him. Since you're a person of public figure, since you're a person that wields or holds important position in society, the courts will definitely need you to perform at the utmost level. And that is the very first one. The second one here is a powerful voice. Since you're a public figure, your voice, whatever you tweet, whatever you say, whatever you publish will go a long, long way, which simply means that you should be mindful of what you put out there. And this will be a disadvantage to Simon. The third one here is can't plead ignorance. Yes, Simon, being a politician, a lawyer, and an activist, cannot plead ignorance. He cannot say that, see, I'm not aware of this particular law, I'm not aware of this particular regulations. No, he cannot say all of those things, because you're a politician in that country, you're an activist and a lawyer, you should know all of these things. And this definitely, according to this judge, will be a disadvantage. And the fourth one here is viewed as dangerous leader. Yes, and the fourth one here is more scrutiny. The government may pursue the case more aggressively because he's a public figure from Nigeria and in that country. And that is the advantage and disadvantage Simon will face in the court of law. But in summary, the judge said that Simon has more advantage compared to the disadvantages just outlined a couple of seconds ago. And this is coming from the judge. This is not coming from my own interpretation or from my own understanding. These are the exact words used by the judge. So now, let's take a look at the most fascinating part of this whole video. Let's take a look at some data, some back-end analytics coming out from Simon's case. So remember that I said that the Päijät-Häme District Court are currently trying Mr. Simon for all of his posts and activities from the 23rd of August of 2021 up until the 18th of November of 2024. Yes, they're currently checking his WhatsApp messages, his Twitter posts, his Facebook posts, and every other videos released. So as we speak, this judge claimed that Simon averagely posted 1 to 2 times every single day on average. And when you calculate all of his posts on Twitter and Facebook, every single post released from the 23rd of August 2021 up until the 18th of November of 2024, Simon has made over 2,368 posts in this period of time. So this judge is saying the Finnish government and its authorities have a lot of data and have a lot of posts on Mr. Simon as we speak. And the Finnish government, even having all of these posts, all of this data and all of this evidence, the Finnish government and the Päijät-Häme District Court, together with the prosecuting lawyer, will face a challenge. What is this challenge? Well, this judge explained that whatever Simon said, whatever he posted, none of them was applied in Finland as a country. That is to say, in the Finnish courts and recordings, Simon has never committed any offense. The only offense Simon has committed is the tax evasion, which every individual and civilian has once upon a time done in their life. So, all these posts Simon released on his Twitter page, none of them was executed in Finland. Simon has not broken any law in that country. Simon has a clean record. He has a very clean and 100% record with the Finnish government. This will play a massive role in the court of law, in the Päijät-Häme District Court. Yes, and this is where things got really, really exciting and interesting. When the prosecuting lawyer made a statement on the 30th of May of 2025, that will definitely go a long way in the Päijät-Häme District Court. So the question here is, what did this prosecuting lawyer said? He claimed that news an update from Nigeria's media outlets cannot be trusted. These are the exact words coming from the prosecuting lawyer, where he stated that Nigeria does not submit 100% accurate news and updates to the Finnish government. And this judge said that this particular sentence or statement coming from the prosecuting lawyer has definitely downplayed the charges leveled on Simon. That is to say, whatever you guys have against this man coming from Nigeria, it's very, very possible that it's a fake news. It's very possible that that did not happen. And this is a challenge that the government of Finland will face. This judge also went a step further to state that every document presented by the prosecuting lawyer has to be fact-checked. That is to say, if you claim that 50 people were unalived in a particular state in Nigeria, you have to definitely give or present first-hand info and first-hand documents to claim that 50 people were unalived. You cannot rely your basis on Nigeria media outlets. This is a massive one. It simply shows that any article, news publication, or presentation coming from Vanguard, Arise TV, Dix Day, or whatsoever would not be admitted into the court of law, because Nigeria media outlets is being categorized in Finland as a source of wrong information. This is a massive one. So as you can see, Simon's case is going to be a big one. His case has a lot of factors, a lot of rooms. His case has a lot of ambiguities, covering and hovering over every single detail. Moving on swiftly, this judge also went a step further to disclose some details and info that will definitely blow our minds. You're showing right now on your screen are some of the challenges that the prosecuting lawyer and the Pajahame District Court will face, because infos and news coming out from Nigeria can be categorized as false. The very first one here is a challenge to evidence reliability. It reads, and I quote, "The prosecutor may be distancing the case from Nigerian media reports to focus on evidence gathered independently by Finnish authorities, such as social media posts and live streams directly made by Simon, digital forensic analysis, which are timestamps, IP logs, and also testimonies from Finnish police or intelligence services, verified reports of violence with confirmed links to Simon's broadcast." So as you can see, there is no place where the Nigerian media outlets will be used as a source. These guys don't trust our media outlets. They will rely their basis and their actions from posts coming out from Simon's Twitter pages. So if Simon, for instance, say, "I want you guys to sit at home from this particular date to this particular date of the month," the government of Finland will not get the reaction of this sit-at-home order coming from Simon from Nigerian's media outlets. They'll only get the reactions from Simon's post himself and forensic analysis. Hope this is very, very clear. This is a major breakthrough for Simon. Yes, this judge also went a step further to give more clarity on avoiding political bias. Yes, since the government of Finland and the political system or the Pajahame District Court will not rely their basis on the Nigerian media outlets, how can these guys avoid political bias coming from Nigeria and Finland in general? It states, "The prosecution might be avoiding reliance on Nigerian news to prevent claims of political bias or unreliable sources, treating the case using neutral, court-admissible Finnish or international evidence." And the third one here is to maintain Finnish legal standards. The Finnish court's evidence must meet a high standards of verification. Nigerian media, especially new social media on unverified outlets, might not be considered legally solid. So as you can see, this is a major breakthrough for Simon, where the court of law will not rely their basis on Nigerian media outlets. They will rely their basics on what Simon posts and reactions and actions contained in his post. Hope this is very, very clear. So this judge is saying that Simon has a 90% chances of being granted or his charges being acquitted and set free. So Simon has a 90% chance for victory and a 10% chance for being charged or sentenced. So this judge did not even stop there. He also went a step further to give more clarity on the only problem Simon will definitely face in the Pajahame District Court. Yes, this judge disclosed the only problem and the only challenge Simon needs to be scared of at this particular point in time. So the question here is, what is this challenge? Well, showing right now on your screen is this particular problem, which is aggravated tax fraud. Recently, it was reported that he pleaded guilty to a 30,000 euros tax fraud. This charge could lead to a prison sentence of up to 7 years. So as you can see, Simon pleaded guilty. It is the only charge Simon pleaded guilty to. That is the tax aggravated fraud, which can land him up to 7 years imprisonment. This is coming from the lawyer or this judge. Just in case you don't know, aggravated tax fraud is a big case in Finland. Sometime back in the 3rd of September of 2009, some wealthy individuals, some very, very wealthy businessmen in Finland were sentenced because of aggravated tax fraud. Showing right now on your screen is a detailed analysis and an article coming from here where it states jail sentences for real estate executive, where some top real estate executives in Finland were sentenced for tax evasion. Yes, so this article states that the court found that the company had avoided taxes and social scrutiny contributions on wages by paying 30% of employee salaries with trumped up travel expenses. The compensation for the number of kilometers traveled is tax-free. Habitat senior managers filed out their own travel expense forms in which they would claim they are driven up to 150,000 kilometers in 1 year. So as you can see, this is a problem between the employee and employer, which landed the employer and all of the executives series of imprisonment. So as you can see, this judge is very confident that Simon definitely, all the charges leveled on him on the basis of financing terrorism and also inciting violence in the southeastern region of Nigeria will not stick. The only one Simon should be scared of is the one he has pleaded guilty to. Yes, the 30,000 euros tax evasion that Simon already, together with his lawyer, said, yes, we are guilty of this particular one and we know the consequences. That is the only case Simon, or that is the only charge Simon will have a problem in. But if Simon can actually defend himself, since he has acted or pleaded guilty in the court of law, the court can actually probably ask him to pay some fines and let him go. And this is a full analysis coming out from this judge in Finland, a very experienced judge who knows the in and out, who knows the intricacies, who knows the attributes, tenets of the Finnish judicial system. Anyways, moving on swiftly, tomorrow being the 17th of June, a Tuesday, 17th of June of 2025, Mr. Simon will also appear before the Paijami District Court to continue with his trial and continue with his charges. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very interesting one because this is a point in time where evidence will be brought into the court section. This is where documents will be presented and full cross-examinations will be done. So if you want to get full updates, if you want to be notified when we drop tomorrow's video by 8 p.m., do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications because it's going to be a banger. Tomorrow, this week, things are going to change. Last week was just bringing in witnesses, bringing in documents, and cross-examining witnesses and testifiers. But this week is where data will come into play. This is where facts and data and info will come into play. So if you want to be notified when we drop the video tomorrow, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Anyways, moving on swiftly, just in case you missed our video published on Friday evening, where a businessman from Enugu State traveled from Enugu State, Nigeria, to that country to answer or testify against Simon. Just in case you missed that video happens to be a very, very interesting one because a businessman, a man who claimed he has lost a lot of money, millions of naira because of Simon's actions and reactions in Nigeria. This man came out to testify. This man dropped a lot of bombshells, a lot of data, a lot of facts that you definitely have to see at this particular point in time, which will blow your mind. Yes, just in case you haven't watched that video and you want to watch it right now, we have that video showing right now on your screen. Yes, so click on this particular video to watch and understand. Click on this video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.
Ndị ba ngwe kenekwe ni muno. Ọzọ dị ka ibia bụ ihe abụọ Eastern News 24 ka isi wene wetara ya bụ ozi unu nụrụ ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ. Ekefunu nwere ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile wetara unu. drọpụrụ anyị fiche n'ụdị nke gị na Eastern News 24 ebe anyị si na-etere ya bụ ozi dị oke mkpa. Ngwa nke mesịa na ụmụnne m.